I think when you choose your business partner, I think you're right. You've got to look at how do we complement each other, and you can't predict. And this is the thing. Like, we all grow as humans so much, so you can be on the same page as someone in 2021 and be in a completely different page in 2026, and you can't predict that. So, I don't think it should stop you getting a business partner. The disadvantages it could have in time, because you can't predict that. You just make the decision at the time, but you have to complement each other. And one of the things I think is you've got to have different skill sets. There's got to be the yin and the yang. You've got to have someone that's gung-ho, and you've got to have someone that's a little bit more conservative to bring him back into line. Or someone who's good at sales and someone who's good on the accounting and the book side. But look for people that can complement what you do, and where you can almost balance each other out is the advice I'd probably give.
Yeah, and I would say that any success in business I've had has been relative to the other business partners and the teams. I mean, working with incredible people, always looking for great talent that either complement you or have skill sets stronger than you in certain areas, to me. And I think the key with business partners is to always have professional respect, and knowing that lane that we talk about, knowing where your strengths lie and knowing where their strengths lie as well. I think that's really relevant. I mean, the proudest thing for me is in the businesses is all those business partners have remained really good friends, because we always went out on a high. And even when we disagreed about something, it would always be relevant. So I had enough professional respect, and I think it was vice versa, that if someone was uncomfortable, there was a reason for it. It wasn't just they were annoyed. We needed to pay more attention to the situation, which I thought, like Nick said, the yin and the yang, it's really vital. If something's not right in your gut, there might be someone that's more logical and logistical that comes in with the answer that fills that gap for you. So for me, that's really important. And yes, you can do it on your own because you got full control. And I know some business owners really like that because they can implement their own ideas, and there isn't anything wrong with that. But there's something about a collaborative approach in a business. When it comes together, it's almost like 1 + 1 = 10. It's hard to describe. It's a subtlety to it. But yeah, when you've got people on the same page and they're rowing in the same boat together, bringing other skill sets as one, you can certainly expand very quickly. So for me, I'm an advocate of business partners, but I said, know your laneway, know where your strengths are, know where your weaknesses are, fill those gaps, build a great team around that leadership group, and I think you're going to be doing pretty well in most cases.
I think the other thing is that comes to mind, and I can say that I'm proud in our business that we have this, but it's the accountability aspect too. It's so hard to be out there on your own, not being accountable to anyone. And I know that I think about it in our business that, geez, I'm accountable to these guys now because I've brought partners in, and we all answer to each other. So I wouldn't say you would slack off, but you don't really have the ability to slack off as long as you've got the right team and everyone's driving towards the same goal. You now have 2 or 3 people that you're accountable to, and that should generally give better results.
And that's why it's the right team, because I've heard Nick say that, but that's unspoken. We don't say we need to be accountable. It's happening because we have professional respect for each other, and we have a respect for the business. So that when you hear someone say that, like I go, I feel exactly the same way. But we don't sit there going, all right, what are we accountable for here? We just are. We have that as people. So because we don't want to let each other down, we don't want to let the business down, we don't want to let ourselves down as well. So it shows you that strength in that is, and it doesn't always happen that way, but it shows you how powerful that can be. How do you think about it in regards to, you've brought a business partner on that has traits that are going to add value to you, and vice versa. Do you have any concerns around that down the track? Are you excited to add to that? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think as well, now with Greg and Shelley, the three of us are extremely different and have different skill sets. And I think what we learnt over time was actually documenting that down and knowing what lane we stay in, what role we fit, and and how it all works and gels with the business. I think in the past, when you fly a bit blind and everyone's doing the same role multiple times, it becomes hard. But I took it back with setting up the business as thinking that you'd never build a house without having a good set of plans on how the house all comes together from the foundation right up to putting the roof on and the fixtures and fittings inside. And I treat the business the same way, is that when you've got a good plan on how it's going to come together, then the business should be successful.